For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all like to look? I'm trying to start out. Hold on. My camera hanging too little. Man, my camera blew it up. There you go. Trying to start with the edumacated look, as my peoples would say, the edumacated look. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. Today is the 18th of March, 2026. What's happening with y'all, ladies and gentlemen? What's happening with y'all? Man, it's a lot going on. Where the heck should we start up in Chum? All right, well, I'm waiting on my co-host to join me so we can go on and start a little trouble. Y'all see my background. I'm aiming for peace today, so hopefully they're gonna let me ride this momentum out for peace, popcorn and chicken grease and all those things that I stand for. You know, I wanna start off with people who say they know their worth or they know this and they know that. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, everybody grown. Let me rephrase that. Everybody is legal. Y'all over 18. I'm going to reserve the word grown because clearly a lot of us aren't grown. We're just old enough to do dumb shit. And we keep claiming we grown until it's time to do grown people shit. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, the position that you're in right now, the position I'm in, the position that he's in, she's in, is a direct result of decisions that we've made, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, when you're going to claim that you're grown, understand that where you are is a culmination of decisions you made. Some were good, some were bad. If you ain't happy where you at, look at the decisions you made. Don't blame the people around you. Look at the decisions that you made. Why did you have these people around you? Why did you choose to do this? Why did you choose to do that? It's I'm always amazed at how we like to blame everybody for what went wrong or why we're here, why we're there. We quickly to accept all the good shit is us. And I'm a circle of one, I'm a team of one, I'm whatever the bullshit is y'all saying about this one person thing, and no one person can do anything by themselves. Forget what you heard. But when you're in a bad spot, you blame everybody else. See, that's not being grown. That's deflecting. Cause you won't say, well, shit, I made a bad decision. Let me see what I can do to stop making bad decisions. Because if you truly accept the fact that you're grown, then you got to accept the fact that you got some bad decisions that got you in these situations. Whether you was after the highlight reel, whether you was after the cutie who wasn't worthy, whatever it was you was doing, at some point you got to say, damn, I made some bad decisions. Don't say nobody tricks you. Just say you made bad decisions. Because when you was being in your grown self, you said, you said, "Oh, I'm grown. I know the streets. Can't nobody pull nothing on me." That's a lie I heard y'all tell. Mr. Petty Reggie, Petty Reggie, ladies and gentlemen, Petty Reggie is one of my closest, and believe it or not, he's one of my dearest friends. He's supposed to have a segment on the show since he popped up and told me I help him make bad decisions. Trust me, I didn't. Petty Reggie is supposed to have a segment on the show called Petty Reggie in these streets with a K, cause that's my dude. Through thick and thin, mostly thick. You're gonna be in the air. You'll be in the air. What I gotta do, bro? We on air from 6 to 8. So get with your people, Mufasa. Hey, you can use a filter. You ain't even gotta. I will create you a whole thing. We just want to hear about Petty Reggie from the streets, and this won't be public. It'll just be in a little room. Shh. I am gonna call you, brother. I'm gonna call you after you land. Man. And I can call you tomorrow. It ain't nothing that's got to be done in the next 24 hours. I got a master plan. So, anyways, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. See, this is how your friends do you. But anyway, when something going wrong in your life, look in the mirror and ask yourself, why did you make these dumbass decisions? And then you'll see where you at, and then you can improve upon it. But when you knowing your worth and you knowing this and you knowing that, you don't never know when you make bad decisions and you won't claim them because somebody tricked you in these bad decisions, and that didn't happen. Sometimes you just made bad decisions. And I'm talking to the fellas first. When you tried to chase that, when you decided to chase that skirt as opposed to that job, and shot it wasn't about shit. That was your decision. It wasn't that skirt that she had on that made you make them decisions. It was where your mind was while you was being grown, and you can account for yours. That's okay. Accept it. Because the next time it come up, now you know what to do. Either you want the money or you want the coochie. Remember what they said in the show? You will never, ever lose coochie chasing money, but you will lose plenty of money chasing coochie. Let your conscience be your guide. All right, I'm gonna bring my peoples on here because we got some things that we want to talk about, and so I'm gonna bring my super duper friend. Later, Petty Reggie. Before I do this, I don't want to get in no trouble. Roy, you joining us, or you doing some management things from the back? Thumbs up if you joining us. Thumbs down if you ain't, since can't nobody see you but me. Cause I see you smirking. Thumbs down. So that means I should put him on anyway, cause he got a headset on. Headset mean he want to come play with the. Oh, see, now he's giving me the. See, man. This I'm telling you. Back in the day, he used to always be here with me. See, when you get big time, you forget the small people in the world. So that's how I'm gonna frame this. Cause we used to be a team. Like everybody else, but then he just kicked me to the curb. Mo, what's happening with you, brother?
What's going on, good brother?
Everything been going on good in your world?
Yeah, you know, I don't complain to nobody, man. I don't complain to nobody.
I mean, ain't gonna do no good, but sometimes you gotta get out. Sometimes you just gotta let it hit the fresh air.
I just call you, man. If I need to get something off my back.
You gotta text me first. You don't want to answer the phone. Hey, and that he go. Let's see. Can y'all see what time that clock say? Do it still say I ain't got no battery yet? I ain't got no battery.
It's on the perfect time.
Hold on. Oh, it's after 5. What is that you drinking? They don't look like H2O, bro. They don't look like H2O.
No, I know you up in your shit. I heard in your monologue you on some bullshit, so I'm ready.
No, I ain't, bro. What's up, Drake? No, it ain't that. It's before it. You know, people just say shit, man, and it's like everybody keeps saying I'm grown, and I have to keep correct. Now you old. Birthdays make you old. Birthdays don't make you grown. They just make you old enough to do dumb shit. Being grown mean being accountable. You know, when you make a mistake, just own it. That way you can do better. You know,
that's true.
It is what it is. And I see so many people not wanting to own that. And you know, next week I'm going to get this teaser. Next week we're gonna talk about assaulting victims. And when I say assaulting victims, I mean the people who want to throw the first punch and then run and hide and claim that you know, I ain't deserve this. But as somebody once told me, when you swing and you swing like a punk, and whoever hits you like the Incredible Hulk, hey, that's your fault for not knowing your personnel. You should have never swung. Oh, I didn't mean for that. I didn't know he was going to hit me that hard.
Hey, DVP, you got some feedback.
Say it again.
You got some feedback over there, I think.
Oh, we know who that probably is then.
Who is it? Is it you still got the feedback from me?
No, it's not you, Mark.
I'm gonna mute you. Hey, don't do nothing, Mark. I'm gonna mute you. Do you still hear it?
Yeah, I'm still here. No, I don't hear it.
All right, hold on. All right, say something, Mark.
It's me.
Mark, it's you.
Go ahead. I bet it's gone now, ain't it?
Yeah,
say
it's gone
something.
now.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, I know what I did.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about next week. But let's see. Well, Mark, did I ask how you been? Because you know I don't want to just jump into shit without asking y'all how y'all been. How you been? Everything good?
My bad, y'all. It's still there, Mark.
It's still there.
Yes, sir.
It must be you, because don't nobody hear it but you.
Oh,
say something.
That's foul, man. That's foul.
Do you hear DVP?
But DVP muted you, and it went away.
Do you hear DVP? You hear the feedback?
Yeah, I hear echo.
That's y'all.
You got your phone on and your computer, because that'll do it. Oh, now you went mute. Look at him. He hit the mute.
And Roy said he heard.
And I all got to hear it at the same time.
There you go.
It ain't no better.
That's better. Hey man, don't ever try to pin something on me ever again in your life.
All right.
You win.
See, I think I still hear it.
It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. It's all good. We got tolerance, man. This is what we do up in this piece. We got tolerance. It's all good.
We're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with Mo, so we can once we get to the good shit, we can just keep rolling. We're supposed to talk about some of the money management for retirees. Yeah, Mark, I think that's you, brother.
All right, go ahead.
Mo, what are some of the things we need to start looking at as far as money management when people get ready to retire?
All right, before we get into that, I want to do this. I got to do my target update.
All right.
So y'all know what's going on. I know y'all been following Pastor Brian and all that, Pastor Jamal, you know, and all that and everything he's saying. I just want to give y'all the broad stroke of this. I'm going to call it a boycott just because that's what they call it. Broad strokes of the boycott. It started on May 5th, 2025. The target stock value was $105. Today is March 11th, 2026. So a year later, stock value is 116. So it remained flat. Now, in between, that's where the action was, right? So in between, it went down, it went up, it went down, and went up. And so, can you say it's a, you know, it was an effect of what Pastor Brian was doing? Pastor, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe, but that's normal stock movement. But from today, because they claim that because of today, they claim that, you know, the boycott's over. So if you could draw a straight line from when it started to now, you could draw a straight line. And so whatever that tells you, that's what that tells you. But I'm just here to report that information to you. All right, DVP, ask that question again. I'll go right into it, brother.
Hold on. So what you're saying is ain't nothing changed in the natural course of events during this whole boycott?
Well, I don't know if I could claim that, but I will say this. It went down, up, went down, up, and went down, up. Now, that could have been an impact of normal business, or it could have been an impact of what Pastor Jamal Bryant was doing and working with corporate and this boycott. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because... Well, yeah, go ahead.
According to the past years, is this a normal thing that's been going through, or is it different from the past 3 years?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna ask that one. Yeah, so this is a typical trend. Yeah, because we talked about this last time, so I have the answer to this. It's a typical trend of what we see, what the business model that Target sees. It's a typical trend. So, you know, still though, you can still say it was him. You might say it's not him. But let's just put it this way. If it wasn't in place, this probably would have happened anyway. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to speculate on any further.
And as Drake said, it probably had something to do with the tariffs too. So,
yeah, right. You know, it's all in there, all of that.
And listen, y'all, I'm not here to bash Jamal Bryant. He can do that on his own. You know, he can do that on his own. But when I did my research, I put him in the same category with some of the BLM people. It started off with a good idea, and then they saw where they could manipulate the system for personal gain, and they used us for that. And you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, you know, I ain't knocking Target because I can't boycott Target. What I spent at Target in 1 year, they probably don't care nothing about me. But I do know there are some people who do shop at Target. So if you're one of them, you know, you got to ask yourself, how much are you really spending that you make a difference? And does this make a difference? Because, you know, in middle America and below, it ain't a bunch of Targets. I just don't see Target like I see Walmart, and I don't see Target having an effect on our community like Walmart. But what I will give Target credit for after my research is Target did have more minority brand stuff in their stores than Walmart. But Walmart typically has a better price. But Walmart also looks like they don't have the same quality as Target. But like I said, you know, if I had a choice between which one I'm gonna shop at, not 7 times out of 10, I'm going to Walmart. I mean, that's just me. But
let me just jump in, and I get it. Listening to Mo, that makes all the sense in the world. It's been trending for more than 3 years, and he jumped into it. But the bad part about it is he jumped into it. Then he come out and say, "Oh, the boycott is over." Then somebody say, "Hold up, player, you ain't started this boycott." Then he come back and say, "Oh, no, not the boycott. The boycott's still going. The Target fast is over." You backpedaling some of just misleading people. That's the part that I don't like about it. You led people to believe that you want this, and we're gonna fight to get this, and then you come out, "Oh, it's over. I'm gonna do a press conference, this," and then you got to backpedal out of it. Where are you misleading these people, and why? Because typically, you know, it's over, but it wasn't effective. And then to have a title to come out and say, "This is the biggest boycott since the Montgomery bus boycott." You ain't got nothing. Trying to make yourself larger than life. And they did not go back on the DEI policies, which was quote unquote part of the reason he started it. I wouldn't follow that dude in traffic. I promise you I wouldn't. But he got plenty of people he Make him drink red Kool-Aid.
Well, like I say, and this ain't to bash him because I don't care one way or the other. But when you look into his personal history, that right there, and and I get it. We're all human, as somebody told me, and I don't have a problem with my leaders being human. What I do have a problem with is my leaders being hypocrites. See,
Yeah.
the reason that I couldn't get behind, well, in the end, when Jesse Jackson used to talk all this stuff, and I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but I said this when he was alive. Jesse Jackson talked a lot about fathers being present in their kids' lives. Then come to find out he got love children. Eddie Long spoke out about homosexuality. Come to find out he's a homosexual. So I want to put it under they're human and they hated themselves. That's why they spoke out against their sins. But to do that, you have to claim your sins before you speak out on them. They were just chastising other brothers for doing the same thing they was doing and sneaking and getting away with it. That's why I have a problem with Malcolm X. Didn't talk about his life as a pimp, but he never hid it from people. He was who he was. He didn't try to act like he was better than other people. He wanted people to be better, but he didn't sit around degrading other people to prove his point. Martin Luther King didn't sit around degrading other people to prove his point. And I'm not going to get into that horrible ass movie, but if, big I, big if Martin cheated on Coretta, he didn't go around condemning men who were cheating on their wives. His fight was something else. So he was not a hypocrite in that sense. Because yes, we all falter. We all make mistakes. We're all human. We all do things that, damn, I ain't even gonna say I wish I wouldn't have done it. I wish I would have made a better decision or this or that. And I'm okay with that. Just don't condemn people for stuff that you're doing or don't be hateful. Even before, when Jesse got caught talking about Obama on the hot mic, see, you're a hypocrite player. You're that's jealousy kicking in, and he didn't know the mic was on. I don't care. Certain things you just don't say if you're in a public forum, period, because somebody might be listening. See, if I got something, and I'm gonna just use us, ladies and gentlemen. If I got something bad to say about Mark, I ain't gonna try to say it on the commercial break. I'm gonna call Mo and say it, but I'm not gonna say it where I could accidentally be overheard. That's testing fate. Or if I truly don't like Mark, why not just take him off the show? See, ain't no need to have him on here then talking bad about him behind his back. And when he show up, I say, oh yeah, Mark is a great guy. Oh yeah, come on, y'all. And this is why I have a problem with some of these people, because, hey man, I'll sit here, we can tell you some of the things I ain't good at. And it's crazy. People don't understand that's why a lot of people like me, because I come off as human. I done told y'all about my depression. I done told y'all I was petty. I done told y'all I'm vindictive. I ain't never tried to be a perfect human being. What I am is I forgot who the movie is, but I might just be the perfect killing machine. I ain't got no shame. So hey, people love you. They think you so perfect. No, they just think I'm so real. Cause it is what it is. You got choices. And when we talk on the show, again, Mo, Mark, and Sharonda, when she show up, I have disagreed with some things that all of them have said. And guess what? They have all disagreed with me on some things I said, even to the point where we might have had elevated voices in our discussions, but it was never disrespectful. They just believed in their point. I believed in my point. We had a back and forth. But during these conversations, it was never no name calling. It was never no ethnic cleansing going on. We didn't talk about each other's relatives. It was just a grown folk conversation, which is how they got to be on the show. You don't have to agree with me. If we all agreed on the same thing, and I tell them this all the time, what's the purpose of having them on the show? I might as well just talk by my damn self if they're going to just sit there and agree with everything. Mark, y'all know Mark crazy as hell. We need Mark. We need Mark. Mo, when he acting right, which lately ain't been often, because I don't know, I think he got caught up in the medication cut because he ain't taking his meds no more. Mo is supposed to be the voice of reason. Mo's supposed to keep everybody balanced. But Mo been on, I don't know what Mo been on. I don't know what he been on lately. Mo got his shit started bad, and he trying to get the promotion. Sharonda, she ain't here to defend herself, but my mama told me the best time to talk about somebody is when they ain't there to defend themselves, because they can't rebut nothing you say. So we're gonna keep that quiet when she show, because I know some of y'all snitches, y'all gonna tell her the DVP will talk about her. So Watch yourself before you get banned. But for real, that's all I'm saying. Let's just be real, and don't be hypocritical of people when you do, especially if you're doing the same thing you calling them out on. Go ahead, Mark.
And that's what I was gonna say. I get it, being a hypocrites about what they're doing. If you're doing it, just do it. Don't condemn me for doing the same that you're doing. Don't and I say this, I had family members that did that, and it pissed me off then, but it even made it worse when I found out that they was doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like my generation couldn't drink, 21 and up, they pouring beer out. What y'all doing? What y'all? Oh no, we ain't gonna be doing it, drinking. Nigga, y'all was on crack. The hell what are we talking about? You feel what I'm saying? Don't condemn me because I want to drink, because you done stopped now. And now you so holier than thou. Don't stop me from drinking, because now it disrupts your spirit. Say no. Let me be who I am, but don't be hypocritical about what you do and then try to downplay what I'm doing, and we doing the same damn thing. It makes no sense. I'm with you on that one.
And we ain't gonna stay on it, but it was like when the church hated on Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin ain't never. All Kirk Franklin did was create music that brought younger people in, and they hate on him for the music. But I ain't religious, but his music was not. His music didn't say nothing bad. His music promoted it. I mean, if it's crazy, but you look at Christianity, and we're not going to have a deep conversation, but look at DMX. On every album DMX made, he did a prayer to God. And some of the if you like DMX, listen to some of them prayers. Some of them prayers are super powerful. That brother right there was something special. But he didn't sit around and chastise nobody. He did what he did. But he didn't sit there and say who was wrong or who. But on every album he got, he did a prayer to God out loud.
As a fan of DMX, you are completely right. He definitely got deep into his prayers, as if he had a strong tie to the Lord, which I'm with it. But a lot of his music didn't reflect that.
Right. And I ain't even religious, but I got some of his players on my playlist, because some of them is just strong. They just strong. And coming from him, I mean, because you can tell it sounded like to me he put his heart into it.
Put his heart into it.
But hey, he was human. So he, but like with Kirk Franklin, about you this. But Kirk Franklin ain't never claimed to be nothing else. He was just trying to get people to come over to Christianity. And it's like Christians want you to come a certain way, when the Bible say, come as you are. And it's like, come as you are. Who represents come as you are? Flawed Kirk Franklin, flawed DMX. Because they ain't never tried to be no better than nobody else. They used the medium that people like, and they brought them on over. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Just stand on self, be true. That's the biblical part of the conversation.
Yeah, that's what it say.
Kirk shouldn't have been twerking on the stage.
Man. Hey, but you gotta understand, with him being on stage, he's putting on performance. It's a show, and he giving the crowd what they want. None of the people at the show say, man, the show was good until he started twerking. It's the people that went there and somebody gave them an opinion and say, hey, Kirk shouldn't have been up there twerking. Man, I've been to church. That shit they call praise dancing, it ain't that far from twerking. It ain't that far from twerking.
But twerking, it ain't that far from the Magic City musical. Let's just keep it real. But like I said, but Kirk brought people to the building, and if the Roy done jumped in the scene, see. And look at now.
There he go.
But see, when I asked if he wanted to be on the show, he ain't want to be on the show. See, that's how people treat you. That's how people treat you.
He got to talk about Kirk.
Go ahead,
Kirk
dude,
got in his spirit.
I was fixing what you was telling me you was having problems with. I don't want to do that while I'm back on the screen. I was on. No, I know. I said I'm done. I told you I found both of the videos that you said you couldn't see. I see them in there.
Yeah, I was actually in the process of sending you a message. Say I just saw him.
Yeah. So, no, look, I tell people, I consider myself to be saved. I consider myself to be a Christian, but I'm also a human. And look, y'all say what you want to. my personal opinion is that relationships with God are personal relationships with God, because there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Now, does that mean that there are certain? I still do believe though that there are certain things that should be separated, like when we talk about church and state. When we talk about church and certain things that you shouldn't do in church, and really it's just because of what your mindset is. But we have to and I don't even like saying we at this point. What Christian people have to do is they have to stop being judgmental of other folks. Because, you know, like you said, the Bible says, come as you are. So if you got a young lady who just coming out the strip club and she says she want to turn her life over and do something different, she, you know, she might not have no presentable church clothes yet. So, you know, she got club dresses. Why? Because she spent most of her time in the club, and that's dressed up for her. So instead of these old ladies condemning and fussing at her about stuff, somebody need to pull off to the side and be like, baby, come on, let's go on over here to Target. Get you one of these $5-10 dresses. This is more appropriate for the setting that you're in. This is more, you know, this is more appropriate for what you be in now. Just like everything else is information, I think you probably can know what you should and should not be wearing at church. You know, don't be wearing nothing showing your moose knuckle trying to sit up in the front row. So, you know.
Hey, they got to get married too.
Yeah,
What's up,
and
Yolanda? What's up?
You beat me to it. I was about to be like, what? Look at Yolanda on the show.
Now,
Hey,
I agree with what Roy's saying. It is, you got to accept them where they are right then, you know, because, and the change ain't an overnight process. They ain't gonna wake up Saturday night and be like, oh man, let me go give me a whole new wardrobe for church because I'm a new person.
Yeah, no, that ain't how that works.
Get there and then let the process take place. You know, but church Christians are the most judgmental folks there is. They run the people smooth on out the church.
They really are. Well, that's the reason most people stay away from the churches, because of Christians.
But that's why so many different sects and and factions of it now, because like I did security at a church a couple of months ago. It's a young brother. He up there on the pulpit with his little jeans, look like an old car canal thing. But they trying to hear a different message. These young people don't want to keep hearing about they going to hell for stuff that everybody doing. They don't want the they don't want the hypocrisy of what the old school was telling them. That you find out the preacher sleeping with Miss Mary and the deacon sleeping with this. They want realism because they want to be accepted by something, but they don't want to keep getting told they're going to hell because they had sex out of wedlock. They had a baby out of wedlock. Ain't nobody going to sign up for you to keep beating them down and then turn around and ask them for 10%. And it's just ain't going to happen. So, you know.
Yeah. And so, oh, go ahead, DV.
No, do your thing.
I just wanted to add this because Roy said something that made me think about one of the things I think about when I think about the church too, because you said, I think you said, Roy, the church should stop being judgmental, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And so when you said that, it made me think, but they also should be judgmental of their own, because the people in the church allow certain things to happen and they shouldn't.
Well, so here, and I think DVP, I mean, just to be honest, and I know some folks who I deal with don't like the thought process, but like you said, there's a lot of hypocrisy in it. Now, should they not be judgmental? Yes, they should not be judgmental, but there should also be a standard.
Yes.
Now, because that's the difference in it of what you're supposed to be doing. If you're upholding something in a lifestyle, that's what you need to be upholding. You need, if you're doing that, and like D was, I heard DVP talk about it when he mentioned to other people. It's like Jesse was out there condemning people with kids out of wedlock, and come to find out he got 2 or 3 up. That's just hypocritical, is what it is. That there's really unfortunately, there's no other way to label that, because if you're out here condemning something that you yourself are guilty of, but you're able to hide yours, that's not cool. I think what the problem that the church has, when the church became a business, that's what changed everything. And a lot of people, and when I say everything, I mean changed it even on a national scale as it relates to the movies. Because the music. Because if you think about it, when did let me see if y'all noticed the correlation? Because I was in the church. I was a deacon in training. I've been told I'm gonna be a pastor, and I'm just like, y'all don't want me to be a pastor because I'm gonna still cuss some people out, and they ain't gonna have no problem about it. Because I understand the certain terminologies and things that are said. But when do you all think there was a big transition in the church where it seemed like it became more, as DVP said, about getting your 10% or getting whatever it is? See if y'all get the correlation with what happened in the regular world.
Hey, so man, listen, I've been seeing that happen since the 70s. 1970. That's my answer.
Okay. So you say 1970.
Yeah, man.
I can say I didn't see it till probably late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. What about you, DVP?
I've been a heathen since the early 60s. So I don't know.
Look, you wasn't a heathen when you was a child. We'll give you that. You didn't get to be a heathen until you look. Hey. You're not a heathen until you have the full understanding of what you do. But no, what a lot of people don't realize is when Bush ran for president, and they needed a way to get black people to vote for him as a Republican. That's when they created the thing where churches can now become nonprofits and do all the stuff. And what happened right after they gave the churches that designation? You started having all of these mega churches pop up. Because if you think about it, Mo, what mega church did we all hear of before the 90s?
Before the 90s?
Before the 90s. It was Oral Roberts. Everybody knew that white dude. Didn't know it wasn't nobody. It was no. When nobody out there but Oral Roberts, or who else was even on TV?
Yeah, none. But okay. Yeah. Oral Roberts and then Hillsong.
One swaggered around.
Jimmy Swaggart and Tammy Faye. But even they weren't like Oral Roberts would have literally been the only mega church. Because even Oral Roberts and Tammy Faye, look, they shot their stuff in the studio. So they didn't have no big sanctuary full of folk. And when you're able to do that, it became much easier. Billy Graham, that was the other cat. Yeah, thank you, Kenneth. But that was the other, that's the thing, because when those churches did that, it started becoming less about saving souls. It became less about helping people see a better path in life and living a quote unquote righteous life. It became about, okay, how much money can we get? And D, you know this. How many drug dealers do you know that switched to become pastors?
Why I gotta know?
Because you a heathen. You just said it. And
I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian heathen. I'm a non-denominational heathen.
So that don't make it. That's exactly what it is. But the thing is, because we talked about this on another show, years ago, that the problem that you ran into, it's legal to sell hope versus it being illegal to sell dope. So selling hope is something that's very easy. And D, you've talked about this before. Most drug dealers have the charisma to be entrepreneurs or business people. They're natural talkers. They can get to people. And when you're selling that hope to people, and if you use the basic, as I say, the basic tenets that are in the Bible and the way that they do stuff and the way that it's written without the correct context, it's easy to get people to give you. That's why pastors have become like rock stars. Like, it's crazy that you got to go through 3 levels of security to get to a pastor on a Sunday afternoon. That makes no sense. And I tell people, I'm like, I know people who were in mega churches who've been around. D, we had the one dude that used to be with Jake's that was with Jake's. They came in, they wrote the book. What was it, Sunday Morning Pimp or something like that? And he came on the show because he was on the Queens too. You remember him? Nope. That was the guy that yeah. Well, we had a guy who was with TD Jakes. He was a part of his ministry for years. and talked about how the whole thing about tithing, and I have been saying that for years, that the way that they look at tithing is wrong. And I don't care what nobody says to me. I say, because you have to look at when that stuff was written and what type of situation we were in. We were in an agrarian society at that point. And tithing isn't just about your money. That's why they called it your first fruits. It's your harvest, whatever you were out there farming, because preachers did what? They didn't do nothing but preach. So they didn't work other jobs. They didn't have other careers back then. And that's part of the way you do that. So Jasper, who? I'm not sure. The great Jasper. I don't know who. Jasper Williams. I don't know who Jasper Williams.
Yeah, he was an Atlanta guy.
Oh, see, you knew who he was, trying to act like you didn't know. But you're right. It's they call it prosperity preaching. And that's what it is. Because what does everybody want to be? Rich. So that's the problem with it, man.
Let me just add this. There's a lot of there was some exploitation in the church. We could look at, like you said, these mega churches and this and that, but research Hillsong. I know you know about it, Roy. You got to know about Hillsong. Research Hillsong. You don't know about Hillsong, man? That church was doing some of the rawest stuff. I'm not even going to talk about it on the show here. Do your own research after the show, but it's stuff that.
Where's the church? Where do you know where it was based out of?
I'll find out for you, but I know the name is Hillsong. I don't know the other information, but I know what the preacher was doing. If you ask me that,
Hillsong Church. Okay.
Yep. So I'll leave it at that.
What was he doing? What was the preacher doing, Roy? I mean, Mo.
This PG show, man. I can't talk about that.
Take a sip. It'll turn rated R real quick. And that's one of those things. Yeah, when it switched over to prosperity preaching, it did change a lot of things. Because, like you say, you can say a hope, and people are all for buying hope. And that's the craziest part. Give you something to look forward to. Get your mansion with the streets paid to go when you get to heaven. You can get that down here. Right. Give me, if I'm gonna be rich, give it to me while I'm living.
So Roy, go ahead, Mark.
Because they always say you never see a Brinks truck or a U-Haul truck at the funeral, at the burial site. So how the hell the matches and the gold rolls get to heaven?
Well, but see, you know what? That's one of the things that. So D, I took that off, man, so the thing wouldn't be on Mo's face.
I appreciate that, man.
Good.
So, you heard me, D?
Yeah.
That's why I was putting them up under, because I didn't want to put it on Mo's face. I want to know who this South Florida Rattler is. I think I know who that is. But man, it's like I said, it's frustrating for somebody who I have a very strong faith walk, I guess I would say, and I say walk because I truly believe in my faith. My faith is at the core of everything I do. I mean, hell, my network is called Jericho Broadcast Networks. And so, but I also understand that there's a reality of it. And I think what a lot of people don't do, and I've had this conversation before with you, D, is the fact that I'll visit a church. I give 3 services. And if I don't hear a pastor say, go to God for yourself, I'm side-eyeing them at that point, because everything should be something leading you to God. It should be, and you can't get to God if you got to walk through me. That's not how that works, because you're not going to be able to call Roy up on your judgment day and be like, well, Roy told me to do this. Pastor Roy, no. What I should have done is and this is why, like, one of the things that I believe those that abuse that and that abuse people in that sense where they manipulate people for their own personal gain. Oh, they gonna be judged a whole lot harsher than other folks will, who may have been even under them, because it's one thing to unknowingly do stuff, but it's a whole different situation when you are knowingly getting into a situation where you're manipulating people just for your own thing and you're using God to do it. You know, and then too, though, I'm also one of them people that believe that whole call it what you want to, reap what you sow, karma, yin and yang, you're going to get what you give, all of that. And so you got to be, you got to know that you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that.
Hey, Roy, so I looked it up, man. Hillsong was a mega church started in Australia. It was in 30 other countries, and the first U.S. launch was in New York. Look that bad boy. I'm surprised you haven't heard about that if you in the church, man.
Yeah, I had. I'll check on that. So
yeah, you gonna be like you gonna get back to me. You'll see. You'll be like, man.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna be surprised because I've seen enough here in the States.
Facts.
I mean, I'm sorry. I can't. Like I said, it's funny. I think the last time I was regularly on with you, and let's clear that up. It was never the DVP and Roy show. It was always DVP. I just got roped into being on with him because he didn't want to be on by us at first, and we were just talking about some really, exciting stuff.
Johnny Carson, David Letterman, who was going to be there, even though it was a Johnny Carson and David Letterman. Roy, don't do that. Just state your point. Don't try to deflect, brother. Just state your point. Just and go on. See, you ain't getting away that easy, brother. I was never, ever, ever, ever since the beginning of this show supposed to be doing this by myself. Never,
you
ever.
weren't doing it by yourself. We brought other people in. You did other folks. I just was helping you out.
While we talking about the church, don't make me speak ill and start using dirty and profane words. See, what's my background? Didn't I tell you I was gonna try to be nice and peaceful this show? Ain't that what I said, Mark? Ain't that what I said in my intro? Hold on, let me check.
Yeah, I heard your intro, but you know what?
Anyway,
Mark know the truth. We know who he is.
Let me bring my fine ice back. Let me bring my fine ice back. He won't let me be great.
No, but like with the last time we were there, we were actually regularly on. Creflo was doing the thing about needing money to get his jet.
Yeah,
because he didn't want to fly commercial. Remember that, D? And I was like, I'm like, I cannot believe that he is actually saying that. Like that blew me away. But look what just happened in the last 2 years. Everything that he said, everything that he taught about tithing was wrong. He said that. He came out afterwards and said that. And like I said, that's the thing, man, that we just, like I said, people manipulate folks, and hope is an easy way to get at people because there's so much pain in the world that people are looking for avenues to get out.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. And let me say this, because this is, and I don't have no problem against anybody in the church, but my personal experience turned me away from it because I saw so much hypocrisy and many issues. And here's one thing that I saw that contributed to that. We used to go to church. I grew up dirt poor. I'm talking about, no heat, trying to figure out what to eat day to day. And we was in the church, right, at that time. And so when you go to church, man, at the church I was going to, there was always some pressure to tithe. So we've seen that even modern day, we've seen them applying pressure to tithe. And
2 times, at least 2 times they passed that tray.
Yeah, right.
One was supposed to be a tithe, the other one was the general offering.
What the hell? What the hell is the difference?
I grew up in a Baptist church, general offering and the mission offering, which was hilarious as I got older. Well, what a mission offering is supposed to be is the members of the church supporting people going out to other parts of the world to do missions, to give, to bring people to Christ, or just to do the work of it, because we all weren't out doing the work ourselves. That's what that was supposed to be. So here's the story, man. So this is what happened. This was, like I said, I got a lot of things. So this was an accumulation of incidents that made me take a different path. And this one here was when they they were kind of pressuring my mother to give tithe money.
And I'm like, hold on a second. The electricity is off. It's cold in the house. We barely got food to eat. How are you giving money to the church, man? I understand you got a belief, but you gotta try to balance that out. And from that point, I started seeing that people were unable to balance their, I'll say, church responsibilities with life responsibilities, and it was causing big problems. And I'm like, listen, I can't be part of that. I can't get into that. And so that's just my own personal experience.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because again, that's one of the conversations I have with people on a regular basis. But one of the things that I have to remind folks of, I say, you have to realize God established the family before he established the church.
Boom.
And because the family was established, and this is from not just me believing, it's from me fasting and praying, it's from me researching, it's from me doing stuff, you have to take care of home first.
Right.
And the church is supposed to be able to assist. Now, does that mean that the church got to pay everybody a light bill that can't pay it? No. But should they be able to help do things? Yes. But one of the arguments, one of the conversations I used to have with pastors, and Mo, I'm gonna use something that you talked about, is that they say, everybody come, they want to invite people to church on Sundays. They want to do this, they want to do that. But he may have rolled up on a brother like you whose family is home and hungry. You're not thinking about what God can do for your soul because your body is in need. Your physical, I know this is the reality of how this works. If your physical body is in distress, I can't process you telling me that my reward is in heaven.
That's right.
I can't process or hear anything that you are saying because I have 3 children at home who can't eat, who are hungry. This is one of the reasons that churches and that black churches used to do Sunday dinners. I grew up in a church that did Sunday dinners. Everything was Sunday dinner. So I told the pastor, I say, here's what you do. You meet that same man and you say, brother, look here. We do a Sunday dinner after our church service every week. Everybody get to eat. It ain't no cost. So we all sitting down. So ain't no shame in nothing. Don't nobody know what your situation is. All you got to do is come to service and you can come in down and sit down and eat. And here's the other piece. Because knowing if he got problems feeding his family, he probably ain't got transportation. Hell, I used to drive the church bus. So I know about going and picking people up and bringing them to service. That is how you get to God's people. Because Jesus went around. Remember who they say Jesus hung with, who he was around. You go get those people. Now that man knows his family is going to be fed and they're going to be able to go home and at least have their bellies full, their physical body sustained. Now he can hear the rest of what you're telling him. Now he can tell you, or you can tell him about, brother, there's a better way than what you're doing. Let me help you find that way. If you out here doing illegal stuff, think about it from this perspective. How good is it going to be for your kids if you get locked up? So now we start there, but you've got to meet a man at his needs before you can get to his soul. That's just how that works. That's the reality of life.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you on that, Roy. That makes a lot of sense for people that actually follow. Meeting people where they are and giving them those resources. Because it's interesting that you see pastors with these Bentleys and luxury cars or whatnot going to church and their members standing at the bus stop. And it's bad. I remember back in the day when I was into the church, and now members would pick other members up. But once you get to these mega churches that don't have these buses and stuff, now you looking at them like, damn, you driving this, but the majority of your members walking. It's no help for those. You feel what I'm saying? But all they got to do, keep paying your tithes and keep praying and hope that things gonna get better. Then you listen to some pastors say what you need to do, you pay your tithes first. When you get your check, take your tithes out first.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. And that's called
damn all
tension
the
in
rest of
relationships.
damn all your bills, take your tithes out first, pay God first, because he gonna make everything else happen. Now you fuck around and your water off, your lights off, because you done put your money in the church.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, but like you say, they selling hope.
Yeah.
Prosperity, pimping, and hope. Hey, you give us this and hope for the best.
I'm not I'm not in the church or anything like that, but the one thing I want to touch upon is like the one thing Roy said. I just recall, I just call it the early days because we're all around the same age except for Mark. But in the early days, the church was there to as a support. It was almost like a support system.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to worry about somebody digging in your pockets. You didn't have to worry about getting exploited or that kind of thing. It was there for as a community, right? It was a church community. Everybody helping everybody out. Somebody short this day. Okay, we're gonna do a little church party. We helping them out. Somebody short that day. We're doing a little church party. We helping them out. So there was a purpose, a point, and everybody had the same belief system. That I can get with. If it's not working like that, though, you ain't gonna see me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just a lot, man. I think that when the church became a business, it changed it. And when I say it changed it on a, you might as well say global scale. But I mean, even though it was here, we're talking about the U.S. so on a national scale, because we're talking about how they got these tax breaks. And I think just the past, wasn't it like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, they ended up auditing like the top 20 mega churches and found that all of them were in violation.
Yeah.
This was the result of that. But it was, I mean, look at what it was done for. It was done so that they could do it. Look, I was in a church.
Hold on, Roy, before you change topics. Are you talking about fiscal violation or spiritual violation? Two different things.
They was in both. No, they ended up being the same because they were in a spiritual violation because it was showed that they were not being legitimate stewards of what they were supposed to be doing. But they were taking money. They were doing all these different things. That's one of the reasons that I like. And I actually want to go visit his church. I thought about it. I haven't had a chance, but I'm usually not in town. But you got Bronner, is what y'all are talking about. I don't have no, at least from what I've seen of him, his family, they got a business. They got their hair thing that they do. They made money from that. He didn't make money from being the church. The epicenter that they built as much as I know, they built to grow and help support the church with the stuff that they do out there. And now that venue is what it is, and it's a beautiful venue that's out there. But it's not, it's not something that's draining the church. He's not doing that to put money in his pocket. He's doing it to support and build and help the community from an economic base standpoint, which is the kind of stuff that you would think. Now I know Darren got this look on his face because Darren worked with the Bronner Brothers show for a long time, so I don't, he may know some stuff that I don't know. I'm just telling you what it looks like from what I see from the outside. But Mo, you just made that you made a point about those when I was talking about those people who did the stuff both spiritually and physically wrong. But that's the problem. You don't give no oversight. I was going to tell two stories. One is both of them by the same church. And one was the day that I said, I'm going to have to give him one more chance. And then I'm going to have to stop coming. Yeah. And the last time was the thing was like, you know what? I can't even come back here no more.
Yeah.
The first thing that happened was it was a church. It was in Orlando. I'm sure you know who it is or know what it was, but I ain't going to give no more details than that. It's in the Orlando area. And they had a food pantry that was supposed to be for the community, right? Where people come and donate food and you could come and get free food and all that kind of stuff, dry goods or whatever, right? They were being paid like $250,000 a year in a grant because they're 501c3, so they got the classification and they're a big church in the communities, so everybody can come through there. The guy that was running it was being paid $75,000 a year to run the food pantry. Now you hear that part, because this is where it gets ugly. The food pantry was literally open 2 hours a week.
Oh.
If you didn't come between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. on this day, you never got into the food pantry. You couldn't get anything.
Man, that's
2
disgusting.
hours a week it was open.
Disgusting.
I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe your brother's the screw up of the family. You just needed some way to help keep him from doing stuff he ain't got no business doing. So I'm gonna give you that one. That's one strike. No, I may not come back. Came back, said, okay, I'm gonna give it another shot. We in service. It is literally an election season. A known racist Republican came up and was speaking in a church full of black people. The pastor literally said, I know he votes against every other thing. Normally, I wouldn't have him in here because his interests don't line up with our interests. But y'all see these 3 programs we got over here? He the one that fund them. So if you want to keep this money flowing in here, you need to listen to what he got to say. I got up and walked out the church at that moment.
Man, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, we could probably do church stories all day, but I'll tell one more. I got a my mother had us in the church when we was kids. So I was probably 8. My other brother was 10. Another one was about 13, right? So we all going to the same church. In that church, and look, we wild, man. We come from the hood. We just like everybody here on the screen. Wild. You start off wild, crazy. You don't take too much. You don't think stuff through, right? And so that was us. So we get in the church, man. This church, kind of find out, they beat you with a leather belt. If you do something wrong, and while they beating you, they say, we're doing this because we love you. So we seen it happen several times, right? So one day though, they grabbed my 2 brothers, took them in the back, I'm gonna say try. Y'all know that story, right? Tried to beat them. That didn't happen. I was just leaving like that. We didn't keep going to that church after that, man. That was it. It didn't happen. It didn't work.
I can agree with you with that. But one thing that I noticed that you said, DVP, that in the communities, you get these mega churches, and the first thing they say they helping is other countries. I know for a fact, Old National is fucked up. Chuck Road is fucked up. But y'all running y'all ass across the water to help other countries. What's wrong with you want to help your community? Old National, Old Nasty for people that's in Atlanta. We call it Old Nasty for a reason. Right there where you have Fulton County sheriffs directing your traffic, that's the only part of Old National you worry about. Because if you go in any other direction on Old National, it ain't safe for me. It ain't safe for people to be over there, period.
You know that's about to change, Mark.
The church been over there for 40 years. When is it going to change?
It ain't got nothing to do with the church.
Exactly.
It ain't got nothing to change. It ain't got nothing to do with the church.
The same with when you go to Chuck Road. You go up and down Chuck Road, and I say it's all Panola. The same situation. Yep. Why are y'all not helping y'all community that's right here within a 5-mile circumference of your church? But he need a new jet so he can do ministry in another country. Boy, kick rocks. And that turns so many people away from church. Because you say you helping your people, but which ones? Because Africa ain't my people to me. My people is within that 5-mile radius, and I want to know why I can't feel safe on Old National, and you've been in that church for 30 years. Well, over 30 years, you've been on that same spot for over 30 years, and it ain't safe 5 minutes from your facility.
D, I know you want to say something. Let me say this real quick.
That's why I stopped.
You can see he was ready for it.
Go ahead, Roy.
Well, okay, yeah. Let me give 2 quick stats. One is that of most mega churches, and this was the last time I did the research, 85 to 90% of the people lived more than 10 miles away from the church. So they weren't even in that area. They didn't live in the area that's being affected by it. The other one, I forgot the other one. The one was about the members. The other one is about the most mega churches are in rundown communities, and they don't help the stuff. The people that's right there in the community. It's very few churches that do stuff that specifically target the people in their direct area. The statistic was that the most churches are the least. They're usually the biggest buildings in communities and the least used buildings in those same communities. The average church building is open 3 days a week: Sunday, Bible study day, and then possibly choir rehearsal day, based on when you're doing it.
Man.
Go ahead, D.
So I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna segue into leaving toxic relationships. My issue with churches has been, will be, Mark, you ain't got to go 5 miles. Most black mega churches within 500 yards is destitution, and they ignore it. Old National, you ain't got to go back to 285. You can go 2 blocks in either direction. For the ones in Decatur, you can go 2 blocks in either direction. And man, it's not the problem with helping other countries, it's the prioritization. Because these other countries, one, they're not asking for your help. They're not donating to nothing. So if you're going to get something, that's kind of like me, let my kids starve, but I'm constantly, as Mo would say, I'm constantly feeding other people's kids because I'm looking good for them. And when you ask these churches about this, and this is my problem with every single black mega church on the planet. Remember we had the storm, and this is why I forgot the brother's name in Houston. I gave him a little pass.
Joe Osteen. I said Joe Osteen, Mr. Storyteller.
But when we had the bad weather, Osteen was the only one to open his church up for people to come inside. No other church did that.
DVP?
Creflo didn't open his up. The one in Decatur didn't open up. It was two in Alpharetta that opened up, but they in Alpharetta. But
DVP.
They didn't open up the doors for people to come in doing this cold wave. You ain't seeing these churches, and they can hire security. They making tons of money. They ain't gonna let these people sleep in the church, and you can keep them all in one area. What you got, Mark?
Hold on. Joe Osteen did not let them people in that church when Houston flooded.
Yeah, he did.
It was after he got the backlash that he refused to let them people in that he allowed them people to come in. But he got backlash first because he said the church had flooded. They were like, the church ain't flooded. And then he was like, well, damn, I got to let them in. But initially, he did not want them people in there.
But he did it. So however he did, and nobody else still did it. It's the only reason I mess with Home Depot, because I don't care what nobody said about Arthur Blank. When we had Snowmageddon, he told all them Home Depots to stay open and let people come in. So no matter what you say, I'm always be an Arthur Blank guy, because Arthur Blank made them keep them Home Depots open so people could come in. So, but with that, we was talking about when is it time to walk away from toxic relationships, and this is a good little segue. I ain't forgot about you, Mo, but since we got sidetracked,
it's all good, man. We can do stocks later.
Do we walk away from toxic relationships? Whether it's the church, whether it's a family member, whether it's a love or familial. When is it time that it's time to say, you need to break out? What's the name? Teddy Pendergrass. I think I better let it go. It's another love TKO. It's gotta let it go. When is the perfect time to start walking away? Because it seems like people holding on too long, trying to either remain biblical, remain politically correct, or they just glutton for punishment. Mark, when do you walk away from effed up family?
Older Mark say immediately. Older Mark at the tender young age of 47, like, shit, fuck family. Cut their ass off and keep it pushing. Life's gonna be all right. Get away from that because they family let them continue to fuck over you, or let them continue to do what they supposed to do and keep forgiving them because they family. Walk away. Younger Mark didn't know no better. Didn't understand toxic relationships because you was always taught that's family. That's your significant other. Allow them to continue doing that BS to you until you just get to a point that it's you at your breaking point. No, I didn't know no better. So I stayed in a toxic relationship because this is normal. Because it's normal because I hadn't seen anything different. And, that's my first relationship, 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, with my first kid mom. Toxic as hell. But around 21, I woke up and was like, hold on. I'm fucking miserable. I ain't happy. I'm miserable. Let me walk away. When I walked away, I realized life gets better. I was like, oh, fuck all that. It's better. You feel what I'm saying? Getting away from this toxicity that I wasn't unaware of because it seemed normal. So I walked away. Then I realized, oh, I'm going to be okay if I walk away. But in my 40s now, shit, fuck around and get on my nerve too bad. I'll walk away. I'm definitely going to take a break. If you family, I don't care if we ever talk again in life. And I used to think that, oh, what if something happened to them? What if they pass and you ain't make it right with them? Now I'm like, oh, well, if we ain't make it right, it's going to still be the same. They gone now. Now I ain't got to worry about, oh, I should have made. Nope, life is over. It's over for him. It's over for me. We're going to keep it pushing. So you get rid of that toxicity shit that's bringing you down or changing how you should be, changing your mood when you go around them. Cut that shit out like cancer and get rid of it immediately.
Look who it is. It's our blonde bomb who come in and wreak a little havoc and cause destruction.
We started talking about relationships. She popped right the hell on in, didn't she?
Okay, now before she come in here, so I don't have to block nobody. You little snitches, don't be saying nothing that was from the past. People, you meet people where they come in at. Where they come in at is where the show starts. Don't be going back to the past trying to bring up nothing. I don't want to have to block nobody, ban nobody. Sharonda, when do you walk away from a toxic relationship right now? And we just talking about family right now. Just family.
Family. That's hard for me because I haven't experienced that because my family is small for the most part. But there are certain boundaries. You know, as a child, you accept certain things because you think that, okay, that's my mama, that's my daddy, that's my sister, brother, auntie, or whatever. But as an adult, when you learn your boundaries and you learn the things that you just aren't going to tolerate, you're like, you know what? You're not paying my bills. You're not adding value to my life. Like Mark said, hey, if we talk, we talk. If we don't, we don't. It is what it is. Phone work both ways, you know. But I do, and I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a woman, but I don't like the sun to set and I'm angry with someone. And they pass and I don't make it right or they don't make it right. So my goal is, I don't people please, but my goal is to have good, solid relationships with people. And if I don't have a good, solid relationship with you, then that is what it is. No harm, no foul. But the people that I love, no, we got to be solid. So I can't walk away.
What about you, Mo?
Oh man, I got a 3-step process, man. I've fine-tuned this over the years. All right. So let me tell you how to say. Look at Roy. Roy, like he had that loaded, boy. Okay, so it's really based on it's been over the years where I had to figure this out because it's kind of disgusting, man. Trusting and getting burnt and then you're sitting there like, why the hell did I keep falling for that? Right. So my process is this. It's based on my tolerance. As I got older, tolerance got worse. So like today, one time, baby, I'm out. I'm done. Finished. You ain't gonna see me again. But the process that I came up with was, okay, get burnt first time or left in the cold. Okay, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Second time, I'm watching. I'm apprehensive. Now, you don't burnt me one time. Now I'm watching, man, because the third time come, I gotta really make a concrete choice. And then the third time, I'm done. So you get 3 chances, man. And then on the third time, I'm done because I've exceeded my tolerance. And that's my process, man.
Go ahead, Roy. We just talking family right now, just family.
I think my answer is going to be a little bit like Shar's because my family's always been very, very close, and we dealt with and gone through a lot of stuff. I come from a big family on both sides. But that being said, like Marcus said, the older I've gotten and the more I've experienced and dealt with stuff, and just the experience that I've had in life that have led me to be able to see the difference, because it's similar to like what Mo said as well. It's like, I have this thing where I say, okay, the first time was a mistake, or it could have been you didn't know any better. There's always an answer for the first time that something happens. The second time it happens, it's no longer a mistake because we've been here before and you made a choice to do this again. Now, even with that, especially when you talk about family, there could have been mitigating circumstances because human nature is we're going to protect ourselves first. 9 times out of 10, unless you're a parent and you have that innate thought to protect your child, or if it's, if it should be a man with his mate, you're going to have that. So the second time, while I think it may be a choice, let me understand your explanation for doing certain things. Third time, it's become a habit. That means that you have now consciously realized that, I can get away with some stuff. And I'm going to do this because this person's going to be. So I get to that point too, where it's just like, yeah, I'm not doing this with you anymore. Because in this world, the reality that we have to face, I can't help you from drowning if I'm drowning myself. I can't pull you up if I'm going under. And self-preservation has to be, unfortunately, your number one situation. And so, like, my thing is, I'll tell you, look, if you're going to do something that's going to take me away from my kids, we're going to have a problem. Because I need to make sure I'm here for them. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Happy birthday, Shar. Since I don't really know you, but happy birthday to everybody else saying it. They typed it in the chat, so I was going to say it out loud. But yeah, man. I mean, you got it, because you got to have boundaries. Just like Shark, you have to have boundaries nowadays, because you can only do so much before you snap and before you break in whatever it is. And so, yeah, you gotta be able to walk away from toxicity. I think one of the things that's hard, that makes it hard, DVP, for what you talk about, for the Black community, toxicity is even usage of the word is still new, because what we grew up with, just pray on them that, your uncle a little special, he a little touched, he this, he that, we swept everything under the road, right? Yep. We never talked about mental health, that was never a thing. So, you just allow certain things. But even in mental health, having worked in the mental health industry, like I said, some stuff is a choice. Yeah, but you got to be able to. You walk away when situations become detrimental to you. You have to walk away at that point. If a situation stops serving you positively, you might want to reevaluate and make sure you're just not being used, because it may not be hurting you, but it may not be serving you either. And if it's not serving you or causing you any grief, you might want to take a look at that, because it could be somebody just trying to use you.
And let me just add this last thing.
What she just said right now.
What was that, Roy?
I said what she just said right there, Miss Lynette. Say when you find yourself doing more for them than they are doing for themselves, it's time to step off.
Yeah. You can't pour from an empty cup, and my motto is toxicity or whatever, but you only get from me what's pouring over. So if my cup is running over, my energy levels are high, my money is high, you get the extra. Like you don't get anything more than that. You get what's extra from me.
Yeah, and
And
I
that's
just
how
want
you maintain that.
yeah, and I just want to add this last thing too. Yeah, I got a chapter in my book where I come to a realization about this very subject. And one of the key things that helped me kind of figure all this out was I came to the conclusion that people have a right to live their lives the way they want to live them. Because I was out here trying to be Superman, helping people, saving people, doing this. You know, they coming to me, man, you got a dime, you got a dollar, whatever it is, right? And I'm helping, put myself in a bad situation. Then I came to a point where I'm like, hold on. If they putting themselves in that situation or they getting in that situation and it's repeating, they have a right to be in that situation. That's their right. That's for them. Go ahead, do that. Don't come see me though.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
think what
I'm
I
gonna,
realized too that I think I was intercepting some folks' karma. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saving you, but I ain't supposed to save you. You supposed to learn this lesson. You supposed to
Right.
fall on your ass. You supposed to go through this struggle. But if I'm always there, you're never gonna learn the lesson.
Yeah, you keep putting a safety net under them. They trying to walk the tightrope, and you keep putting a safety net under them.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna learn.
I
They gonna
got
keep
you.
falling.
I got you. I got you.
They need to hit
No,
that damn
don't do that.
ground. Ah!
So
well, for me, I'm gonna be transparent about this. So, me and my younger brother, we fell out in 22. Spring of 22. Big fall out. So he went into the name calling phase, and I was like, "Fuck it." You know what I mean? I ain't finna let you get to me. It is what it is. Never talked to him again. He passed away spring of 23. And initially, I was like, "Well, damn, we should have made up." But then at that point, I was like, "Fuck it." Life goes on. I don't regret that we fell out because I don't feel like I did anything wrong that caused the fallout. But life goes on. So I don't feel no regret. We ain't never talked. We should have made up because we're family, but I don't give a fuck about it. And I don't live now and day with regret saying, damn, I should have made up with my little brother. Damn, nope. I don't think about it. I think about I did the right thing by cutting that toxicity shit out of my life before it took me down the wrong path. And I keep on moving. And life goes on. But I think a lot of people hold on to that regret that, oh man, I should have made up with them. If they did you wrong, fuck them. You don't go back and go through that toxicity shit again because you feel some type of way. For me, life goes on and I'm still living. I miss him, but I don't regret that I ain't speak to him for a year before he passed.
Yeah, let me add this, Mark, because
That's fair.
this is something to do with that. And it's like, if it's two people, it's a two-way decision. So that wasn't just Mark now speaking to his brother. That's a two-way decision. You know what I'm saying? He didn't speak to you either. So that's part of it.
Yep.
I'm gonna say
Phone
this,
work both ways.
and I'm gonna disagree with both of y'all on that last point because my son didn't know that he was 20 something years old. He had an uncle, and that was by my choice because we didn't speak about this other young fella who was a brother because I never wanted to talk to him. So there was no need to bring him up to my kids because yeah. And my son was like, Dad, how long I been had an uncle? I said, you been had an uncle all your life, but because somebody convinced me to let him back in. And this goes for any relationship. We won't talk about the other, but the minute your peace is disturbed, it's time to go away. It's time to go. All the other stuff I hear what y'all talking about, but once your peace is disturbed, because money will break us apart. But as Shaw used an example, when you overflowing with stuff, sometimes you don't mind helping people, and you really don't expect nothing back. And sometimes you don't get nothing back, but you do it because you can, and see if they want to earn a place. Because as one of my friends, Petty Reggie, actually said, he said, "Hey, you know what, man? I don't mind giving somebody $300 and then they don't call me back no more. I'm okay with losing a $300 friendship because if that's the value you put on our friendship, I'm glad you let me know before I got to the point where I would do more for you." But one of the things I learned from this job I got as I was listening to some psychiatrists talk, there's a thing called toxic relationships where people thrive in them, where people actually that's their love language. And the person who is receiving this poison, as Sharonda was saying, you intercepted it. We the ones who get she the one who gonna get affected the most because now she receiving something that she shouldn't because people can't live without her, even though they keep bringing toxicity to it. And we don't know it because, as Mark said, sometimes we so used to this, we don't realize that the relationship is beneficial to the person with all the poison because they're getting to get rid of their poison on us. So the minute your peace is being destroyed, the minute you start, all of a sudden now you sick, you got a headache, and you don't know why because you ain't changed the eating habits, and you ain't having money problems, but your life just ain't balanced because you taking all these toxins. So no matter what it is, once you find your peace being destroyed, as DJ Yola said, I just don't give a. And the game ain't dirty. It's just the niggas in it. You got to start eliminating yourself. You got to, because expecting them to go away ain't gonna happen. Because as long as they got you for a crutch and they can pull you down with them, misery love company. Misery love company. And I'm sure all y'all can attest to this. People always want something when you got it. Broke people love to tell rich people what to do with their money. Oh, you got it. You can afford to lend it to. Well, I got it because I don't go around throwing it away. First of all, player, I got it because I done passed up on some things that I truly wanted, but I realized it was gonna make me broke, so I didn't do it because I'd rather have some money in the bank just in case. And when we say when is the time to step away, and I ask people, when are you unhappy? And it's amazing how many seemingly normal people will choose unhappiness and be okay with it, trying to support something else that they should have let go because I might regret it. I might this. I got a message from a friend, a family friend, who said, "Hey, man, your brother miss you," and I'm like, "Cool." And I'm thinking, I can't stop him from missing me, but what I can stop is sending an invite. Because to your point, the phone call ain't. He can keep calling. He even came on the show one time and said, "I don't have your phone number," and I said, "I know." I know. I pretty much know who got my number and who don't. So
that's by design,
right? Because I'm not finna invite this back into. I gave you a chance that I should have never gave you. You burned me twice. The person who taught me to letting you in the second time, I cut them off because you brought toxicity to me. See,
Yeah.
that's who I am. If you bring some toxic to me, I can get rid of both of y'all. Because you know what I can find? I can find some more people to hang out with who ain't toxic. And that to me, that's when you got to do it. I realize some of y'all are white lighters by nature or Jedi Knights or whatever.
You know what? We're not going to start that.
You're right.
Not going to start that.
I'm just
Stop.
saying. But
listen, let me say something. Because I actually want to say something on what you said. Because you actually changed. Well, at least maybe, and I'm thinking that I heard a different word. I don't know if you changed it. When you first started off, you said when it starts to disrupt your peace. Then you said when it destroys your peace is when you break away. Because I was going to say, so the only thing I would disagree when you use the word disrupt is because I think sometimes when we look at these different situations, the first thing that we got to do is we got to look inward and make sure that, like you said, we're not doing one or two things, either contributing to the behavior or allowing the behavior. So, if something is disturbing your peace, I would say take stock in it, look at evaluation, make sure that you're not creating this space or giving off whatever vibe it is for them to do certain things and all that kind of stuff. But now, if your peace is being destroyed, I'm with you 100%. It ain't even a question at that point. I'm like, I'm not taking on your pain. When I have nothing to do, like Char said, I'm not going to step in front of that bullet for you because I didn't do anything to deserve being shot at. And you know what you did to get shot at. No. When you make them conscious choices. So I get you on that, but I didn't know if you consciously changed it or if you were thinking something different or whatever when you use the word disturb versus disrupt. Destroyed versus disrupt.
Well, you got to know how much you take, because like I said, there was a time I lived for destruction, terror, and mayhem. You just got to know where you are. And if that's who you are, then don't say shit. I mean, I start off the show saying at the end of the day, when we're all claiming to be grown, we are a product of our decisions and choices. That ain't nobody else. For everybody that we let disrupt our piece or whatever, we open the door for a lot of them. We got to take the hit for that and quit opening the door. That's why the big guy invented peepholes and caller ID so I can see who I look.
Yeah.
Somebody came to my house
You
one
gotta
time. I
screen
looked at
them.
the peephole and saw who it was. I went back to bed. They shot me a text message. Said, I know you in the house. And I shot them a text message back. You right, my house. I didn't invite you over. I don't want none of this shit you bringing. You might be coming in peace. I don't like your version of peace. See, these are decisions that we get to make. And then we can blame us because it ain't nobody's fault that they brought this toxicity. It's our fault for letting it stay too long. Once we saw you wasn't shit, we should have got out that broom and started sweeping your ass out. But as some of you guys have said, we like to give people multiple chances to do the same shit again. And what's the definitions of insanity? Doing the same shit and expecting different results. See, to me, Mo, and I hear you. The first time you do something, you get a second chance only if you come back and apologize for exactly what you did wrong. But saying I'm sorry or my bad, that didn't work. I need to hear a detail. And I need to see it that you are sorry for what you did. I need the details. And then I will consider it. But, but if you don't show no contrition and remorse and you can't tell me you're sorry for exactly what you did, I'm not trying to hear nothing else you're saying. Nothing.
So is that for
and they said, hold on, quick. They well, what if they die? Well, shit, we all gonna die. So if I live my life unregretted about who may or may not die, I'm gonna always be trying to please everybody else. Well, shit. And you know what it occurred to me? Well, damn, I might die too. Don't nobody give a shit about that. So should I die unhappy because I'm trying to help everybody else? Because I hate that analogy. Well, they might die. Well, ain't no might in it. Everybody gonna die. That can't be the standard. That cannot be the standard death. Because you know what? I've lost people who were related to my mama and other people. They got nothing to do with me. I'm not going to the funeral. I didn't care no way. And they death ain't gonna make me feel guilty because I didn't cause the grief or the trauma. So you didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Okay. I wasn't saying hello to him every morning. I'm gonna miss the people I talk to on a regular basis. The ones I cut off, what is there to miss? What is there to miss if I'm being honest? And I know that every decision, my decisions affect me and who I'm gonna be. So do I really want to make up with somebody who causing me destruction and causing me not to have peace? Oh yeah. Go ahead and slap the shit out of me one more time and stab me and steal my money. Go ahead. Let me be the better person.
But that's the thing that we were taught, DVP, that regardless if it's family, accept that abuse because it's family. And I've gotten to a point now that I'm not taking that shit. Regardless of what part of my family you are, if you do some shit that disrupt my peace, man, to hell with you. I see you when I see you. And if it's at your funeral or at my funeral, so be it. But I ain't finna let you keep being in my life, slapping the shit out of me or taking me through this bullshit if I don't have to.
You know who say that, Mark? And let's be honest about where we hear that from. We hear that from poor people. Poor people always because they ain't got shit to lose. People with money don't say that shit. They don't say that shit. That's some poor people shit that we heard in the projects because then nobody have nothing. So we're going to all be broke together. But as soon as you start getting something, the first thing you have to do is start cutting people off because everybody wants something you got. When you poor, nobody wants shit, and you ain't got shit, I ain't got shit. So yeah, we going to wallow in the mud together. But money makes you have to be a whole lot more discerning in your life. Go ahead, Mo.
Oh, no, I just wanted to comment on what Mark just said because for me, that's key. I got a chapter in my book, my autobiography, and this is the theme of that chapter. United, we fall. Divided, I stand. And it's the same premise Mark is talking about. Sometimes you got to separate just for you. You know what I mean? Because if you stay in that circle, and this was my reality. This is my life. I know y'all probably went through the same thing, but if you stay in that circle, things are worse for you. Sometimes you got to separate, man. Be like, I'm out. I'm going, and I'm living proof that's a good formula. It worked for me anyway. Getting away from toxicity and those issues. Yeah. Divided, I stand. And that's what, I stand by that. Leave it at that.
So yeah, I mean, everybody got to do what works for them. Do you feel that guilt about whatever that you feel the need to hang around toxic? Like I said, when I learned about it, and somebody got a real bad echo, and I started hearing about it, I paid attention and I started watching what some of us do and look at what some people doing. And as Sharonda said, sometimes we keep inviting it and we intercepting this and we just bring it in. This wouldn't have been a part of my life had I not just, I should, man, let me put you on call block because every time you come around, you bringing that dark ass cloud with you.
Now, I'm gonna step in and say this, DVP, and it may just be me that got this shit, but a lot of that accepting this bullshit and forgiving people, I hate to say it came from Christianity and the church. That you got to continue to forgive somebody that keeps fucking over you because you got to keep doing it. No, I read up in my mind, I'm not accepting it. But they say, oh, you got to learn to live and forgive. Oh, God forgave and you got to. No, get that motherfucker out of my life that's not meaning me any good. If you beneficial to my life, yes, stay here. But if you start to be detrimental and I'm draining and I'm like, get this toxic shit away from me, yes, go. But like I say, I think that we, and I say we as a people, were taught this through Christianity that you got to forgive, turn the other cheek. God forgave you and forgive. No, fuck that. Get out my life as quick as possible.
I'm glad you said that because it's funny you say that. I was having a conversation with somebody about the Bible earlier. And if you read the Bible, this is why I laugh people who claim to read it. Don't y'all remember that God was destroying kingdoms and shit? God was not as forgiving as everybody keep wanting to make him out to be. God, dude had a little mafioso in him. He was destroying people who didn't do what he said. He wiped out villages. Are we forgetting this is all biblical? So when people keep saying, God, turn the other cheek, where is that in the Bible? It does say an eye for an eye, though. See, people will tell us what they want us to believe, but all you gotta do is read, and a lot of that is not. What's up, Sean? A lot of that is not in there. We make up this stuff. We make this stuff up. Remember, this is the same dude that was sacrificing his son. So, but again, when we listen to these people that tell us about the Bible, you ask them, did you read it? Because all of us over 40, and we had that little man with that blue-eyed, blonde-haired guy that wasn't in the Bible. So do you really trust people who tell you about the Bible that they ain't read? Because I'm just saying, it ain't there. So that's all I'm saying. All right, do you think, Mr. Roy?
Well, hold on for Roy, because I say this right at what you said, DVP. When Adam and Eve started disrupting God's peace, he put their ass out of Eden. He cut that toxic shit out. He cut it off right then. You toxic motherfucker got to leave the garden.
So I'm just saying, a lot of this stuff that we say is biblical. It's written down that it ain't what we keep repeating. So as we like to do on this, so let's do some research and find this in there. We gonna quote it. That's why I tell people I don't like to argue religion because I read enough of the Bible to be dangerous. So when people tell me something, you say, hey, well, this is this now. And this was blessed by the big guy. So where you getting this from that you can't do this and you can't do that? Because didn't he destroy some people who was run up the mountain and the girl looked back and he turned all on the dust? That's in the Bible. Because she looked back. She was hard-headed. She ain't even do nothing but look back. So why we gotta do something that he didn't do? He ain't as forgiving as they keep trying to make us believe. He ain't. Because who caused this? Who caused this flood again? Who was it that caused that flood?
Your heathens didn't act right. I'm gonna kill everybody in here except for Noah, his family, and 2 bed bugs and 2 roaches.
And he would have killed Noah if Noah wouldn't have built that ark. So we keep saying he's forgiven, but he's proven some of the greatest stories prove he's not as forgiving as we claim. Exactly. So she was disobedient. So why do we keep saying that God forgive when we know he does not? It's in the Bible.
Well, the thing that most people are talking about at that point is when it was asked. So first off, you're talking mostly Old Testament stuff, and this is going to be the discussion about it. You're referring to the Old Testament stuff, but when Jesus came, he came with grace, and the question was asked of him: how many times should we forgive someone who sins against or who has an alt against us. And he says 7 times 7, 700, something like that. As many times as their father forgives you is what they were saying. But that goes all in the premise of being covered by grace, which is what the blood of Jesus was set to do, was to cover us all by grace. So that's why they say that. But let's be here. Wait, don't say that. Let me finish before you say something. Because I'm going to tell you, there's a difference between forgiving someone and hoping that their soul is truly forgiven if, because this is the part that people miss, if they are repentant themselves. Like you said, they have to come to you and sincerely apologize before you even go hear it. That's the same thing that the Bible says. So I'm gonna use me and you as an example. I can't doodle all over you and then go to God and be like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry about what I did to Darren." And I don't go to Darren and say, "Bruh, I should not have doodled all over you. That was on me. I was messed up. I was having whatever my issue was. I truly apologize for that." It tells you that if you don't go get it right where you got it wrong at, you're not right. You can't do that. So again, this is that whole manipulation with folks, because people want to use the Bible. They want to use the parts of the Bible that they want to use, and they don't intend to give you the entire piece of the instructions that folks need to live by it. So you can't do that. Now, again, it's not about, there's a difference between forgiving somebody and trusting them or staying in the same situation with them. So if Mo did you wrong 4 times, and 5th time you be like, "Bo, you know what, bro? I'm not even worried about them first 4, but no, I'm not doing this with you no more." You forgiving Mo, but you're not gonna follow Mo down the rabbit hole no more.
I'm not forgiving shit.
That's what it is.
I'm not forgiving shit.
Well, look, I'm just trying to explain what you were saying. I want to clarify. I just wanted to clarify the biblical structure of what you was talking about.
Listen, and whether you read Old Testament, New Testament, Noah in both of them. Noah is in both of them. And he was the only one that didn't get it. So whatever we talk about, Noah existed, and he was the only one. So the big guy is not that forgiving. He's not that forgiving. That's all I'm saying. So we got to quit using that biblical term. We're gonna finish this part next week. I want to get to the one, because we got a good 20 minutes left. I want to know.
And I got to get out.
Mo, right, give me 5 minutes.
Stay right here. Okay. Stay right here. Okay. Don't leave.
The question is marriage possessive? When you get married, do you lose autonomy? So, Russ, since you got to go first, we want you to answer that question.
See, I know why you want me to answer this, dog.
But you finna leave. That's the only reason I want you to answer.
Whatever.
Hey, did he just say he got to go?
Yeah. Is marriage possessive?
Yeah. Do you lose autonomy when you get married?
Okay, so that's the question. It's because it sounds like 2. Because I would answer yes to the first part of it, but I would also answer no to the second part. You don't lose who you are when you should not lose who you are when you get married. It should be whoever you get with. And see, DVP taking us back to these years ago conversations. I'm a cake.
Hey, this one of their questions. It wasn't my question, player. It was one of the co-hosts.
Okay, I got you. I
get blamed for shit I ain't even do.
I cannot. I'm a cake. I'm a cake all by myself. I'm done. I'm complete. I'm baked. I'm set. When somebody comes into my life, they should be icing. They make me a little better, but they don't take away anything from me. Just like if they ice it and then you put them on a cake, give you a little bit more substance, but they still icing. It is still who you are. So no, you should never lose who you are in any relationship. And I guess, Gary, I want to ask now what the question, he said you can't cherry pick the Bible. I don't know which parts you're referring to or which comments, but I think one of the things that we look at, it's not a matter of cherry picking the Bible. It's a matter of interpretation and how people view the Bible, because that's one of the reasons we have 30 different religions that all use the same book, because everybody looking at it and they seeing something different. Everybody and every bishop, pastor, cardinal will tell you that God gave them a revelation on something. So it's not cherry picking. It's being holistic in your view of it when you look at it. And the other thing that we said before, and I got to go on this point just deep, but I'm gonna go back to this real quick. Especially if you are using the King James version of the Bible. We're not gonna get into King James today. When you read that Bible, you need to have two other things. You need to have a dictionary and you need to have a thesaurus when you read that. Because things that were said back then were not immediately translated. That's why they have the new NIVs and all these different translations of the Bible, because we're putting in, the different people with those different versions are putting in what they believe the plan of today is, or what the meaning of it is today. So you've got to know the root of words. You've got to know, because we got into that again about fornication. But I do got to go. We got another show coming up. But D, I wanted to say this before I left, just to let everybody know. And me and you, we're gonna get together. Actually, I need you to call me when you finish the show. April 6th, the network goes fully back up. Right now we're down, so all we're doing is the live shows on a weekly basis. But we are getting ready to start back doing the promotions like we used to do back in the day. We're getting ready to start doing. I'm forcing Darren now. I'm saying I won't be forcing. He got to start coming out and doing at least one live show monthly. We're gonna get ready to start doing that in April, so people will be able to come out, be a studio audience, and have all that kind of fun. And we're gonna get some things going. But D, call me. Mo, it was good seeing you again, brother. Mark, Shar, it was nice meeting you guys. Everybody else in the chat, appreciate y'all. But yeah, we'll be getting back in.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you, Roy.
All right,
Don't lie to him. It ain't nice seeing him. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, how y'all when you're married, does it become a possessive thing? You know, one of the things it does say y'all supposed to become one. So do you lose your autonomy?
DVP, before I answer that, what do you mean by does it become a possessive thing? And then I can answer your question.
Is she yours or you hers?
Yeah. So as I answer that, as you become married, you become one. So the possessive, she's mine, I'm hers. So yes, we become one. But you should never lose who you are. You should still be who you are. The only thing is, as you grow or get older and experience life, you change. So now they have to continue to accept the change that you're making, because the 20-year-old me ain't the 30-year-old me, and the 30-year-old me ain't the 40-year-old me. And in a few years, when I hit 50, I'm not going to be the 40-year-old person. So you don't change who you are. You just have to continue to grow and accept each other for who you are, because you're both growing and changing. So when people say we grew apart, it's just that it got to a point that they changed the way, I changed the way, and we were no longer compatible. But yes, possessive. Yes, you're mine, I'm hers. You're my person, I'm your person. But you don't lose or forget who you are as an individual.
Mm-hmm. And you respect your partner's individuality. So you have those separate interests. You know, she might like, for me, I might like fishing. You might like doing something else, you know, so you respect that and you encourage doing things separately and creating those boundaries and just trusting each other. Because autonomy is, I talked to my therapist about this, and it's very important. And it's not, I don't even think it has anything to do with belonging to another person. It's just being able to be you as an individual and being accepted by your partner as an individual. So.
Oh.
All right, I'm not going to do a dissertation on this, but I am going to provide some information. So the answer to your question, DVP, do you lose autonomy when you get married? The direct answer is hell yes. All right. So now the question is why, right? Now, the first thing, though, it depends on the marriage, is number one. But think about it this way. Do you get to keep doing all of the same things you were doing when you were single, when you were individual, right? You get to do probably like, I'm gonna just throw some raw numbers out here because I thought about this. You get to do probably about 80% of that. 20% of it now is co-joined with your partner, right? And you don't get full autonomy in that space. That's y'all space together. So if you think of two circles, right? I don't know if I can do it on screen. You think of two circles and you co-join them a little bit by 20%, that's married. Other 80%, that's you. That's how it's supposed to be anyway. People that can't accept that, though, those are the ones that get divorced. Those are the ones that have problems. But if you get to maintain your 80%, then you got that 20% that y'all co-join together, and y'all got to figure out how the hell that looks. Because there was a time, I just throw one example out there. I know Shara probably understand this one. Y'all probably will too. But I just throw one example out there. Going to the mall, right? Man, my wife could get in the mall and shop goddamn 5 hours. All right. So early phase of marriage, I was there. I was trying to do it. I'm like, well, I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's where I'm at. Try that today. Hell no. I'm going to be on the bench. Go your way. I got a computer and a headset. I'll see you when you get done. So you kind of got to find your space. So that autonomy, it's not full autonomy. It's limited. I'll leave it at that.
And I tell people, when you get married, you do have to give up a portion because it's not singular anymore, especially as a man. And if you're going to be in a traditional relationship, I can't make decisions that are solely based on me anymore. Once I'm in a relationship, I have to, if I want to be successful, I have to make decisions based on us. So do you lose some autonomy? You're going to lose some. You shouldn't lose all. As Sharon's saying, I should still be able to do some things on my own. You should be able to do some things on your own. But a lot of things that we're doing, we got to do for each other. They would be things that if you weren't there, I wouldn't have done before. But because you're there, you got to be a part of my consideration factor now. And this is where I think some people lose it, because I've heard people say, oh, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me all the time. Well, if you're going to be you all the time, that means you should stay single. Because as a single person, every single decision I make is strictly for my benefit. I don't care how other people feel about it. This is mine. I can't enter a relationship with that mentality. So to think that it won't ever go away is insanity, because I got to think about the collective now. It's no different than when you have kids. Once you have kids, your decision cannot be based on what you want to do. I want to go out tonight, but somebody got to babysit the kids. Well, they'll be out for 5 or 6 hours. No, you got to make decisions for them now, because who you are has changed. When you enter this relationship, and like I said, I'm talking about traditional and more so my relationship. I'm gonna use my show girlfriend, but me and Sharonda are married. I got to make sure what I'm doing on a certain level keeps Sharonda happy. As long as it ain't disturbing my peace, then why don't I want to do it? Because I want her to be happy, as she should want me to be happy. And like I said, there are times Sharonda gonna want to go fishing. Well, I don't want to go fishing. But why should I stop her from going fishing? It don't affect nothing. So if that's what she needs to do, if her autonomy doesn't adversely affect the relationship, then who cares? Like when people arguing about curfews, and I hate the argument, but yeah, when you're in a relationship, yeah, you owe it to your partner to be home at a certain time. You can't keep running the streets all night like you're by yourself. And yes, y'all, the two of us should agree on a time that we think is respectable for what we're doing. And as we always talk about, if we agree together that no time is disrespectful, then that's what's got to work for us. But we can't tell Mo and Gina that's what they got to do. But it's a little of both, because it is possessive, just like we're possessed by our kids. If I'm married and something happens to my wife and she call, oh, I'm dropping everything to go there, because it's that you're hurting my possession. I care about what happens to her, because and if she say, hey, but I want you to do this, Lord knows, as most say, women want us to do some of the craziest shit, and because they own us, we do it. We will sit there at the mall and be unhappy. As long as it ain't Super Bowl Sunday, we're gonna be unhappy. If it's Super Bowl Sunday, we just downright mad, we're gonna start a fight. But there are things that we gotta do, because to me, in the sense of marriage, we do belong to each other. We are responsible for each other. I am her, she is mine. So when we're doing things, I want to make sure that she is gonna be happy, not okay. She should make sure that I want to be happy, not okay. So there is a possession there. But like I said, she shouldn't say, "Oh, you can't do none of the stuff you used to do." Yeah, I can't keep having all these girlfriends and yada yada yada. But if she know on Sundays I want to watch football, and then she can go fishing on Sundays when football season is. So everybody got something that we got to do together. She ain't got to come sit down there and watch football with me if she don't like football, and I ain't got to go fishing with her if I don't like fishing. But that's one of the discussions, that the uncomfortable conversation that people won't talk about while they're dating, because everybody seems to be under the premise once we get married, oh, well, she gonna change, and she's thinking, oh, he gonna change, but we never talk about it. Well, what do we still do together? You know, one of my uncles told me, and I never thought about it. He said, hey, when you get married, let your wife take a trip alone. You should take a trip alone. And y'all should take a trip together. Y'all don't have to be up on each other all the time. You need to get some time in where you can miss each other. And it never occurred to me how much sense that made. But, you know, so many people have a distrustful relationship. Oh, if she go out of town, she going to be doing this. Well, if you think that, then why you marrying her? If you can't trust her, that's on you, player. Don't marry somebody you can't trust. If Sharonda can't trust me by myself, she shouldn't marry me. So that's an internal issue.
Well, in that sense, DVP, that's when you get that quote unquote 80-20, the 80-20 rule that goes with marriages and relationships. 80% y'all equally yoked and everything is good. So that 20% give the other person the time to do what they enjoy doing without you. So you should be able to be cool. So situation like she likes shopping, and Mo like, shit, I ain't sitting in the mall 5 hours. Hell, me, I'm one of them. I love shopping. So I'm gonna be right there walking, holding the bags, I hold the purse, whatever, we shopping, I'm cool. But if it gets to a situation like Sharonda say she like fishing and it's something that I don't like doing, then out of the 80%, we don't. The 20% she get to herself. So that 20% of the time she gets to go fishing and do whatever the hell she enjoys doing solo. But the 80% is where we are locked in, it's us, and this is what we enjoy. But 20%, go do fishing, shopping, or whatever hobby or whatever she enjoys doing that I don't like. That's when that 80-20 kick in, and we should be straight.
But there needs to be a conversation about it, because people will do this and they don't want to ever talk about it. And so she want to go fishing on Sunday. I want us to go to church on Sunday, because we never had these discussions about the autonomy that we got to keep. Well, I'm just saying, I use that as an example. But we didn't talk about the autonomy that we still got to do to maintain who we are for our own personal peace. Because for her to be the best her, she still got to take care of her mental. For me to be the best me, I got to take care of my mental. And sometimes nobody wants to be responsible or the air quote grown up. You know, I just want to just sit and chill. I don't want to have to be responsible for nothing other than sitting here watching this stupid game. She don't want to do nothing but sit out there on the ocean and let these little dumb fish come do whatever they do. We don't want to have to be responsible for decision making or keeping somebody else happy or none of that. We just want to chill. But the conversation's got to be had. How do we do? I mean, I dated a girl who she didn't like me watching football on Sunday. You got to be shitting me. It's all I want. It's only 3 months. I can't do this for 4 months, whatever it is. Well, Sundays, we both work during the week. Sunday's one of the days we get to get. Listen, Shawty, we talking about, hey, good.
You figure that out in the vetting process. When you getting to know each other, we figure that out then.
But it's one of them things, like I say, I think everybody who been in a relationship can say, when you're dating, it's one way. And have we not changed or seen people change once the dating becomes more serious? Once we start gearing toward exclusivity or true commitment, people have changed. They ain't the same person when you were dating and it all was fun and shit. Because now, especially when you move in, a lot of things change. And Sean, if it's a vacation or a trip, I mean, I don't understand you saying the time spent in the distance. If Sharonda want to go away for 3 days, whether she go to the mountains in North Georgia or whether she go to California, or even if she take a cruise, I don't understand the difference. But I mean,
so
go ahead.
One of the main things with autonomy is the ability to self-govern. Okay. So you have to be able to say, okay, I'm with someone, and we're talking about autonomy in a relationship. I'm with someone. What I want this person to do this to me. So there's a lot of self-governance. And if you can't govern yourself accordingly, then you don't, I don't want to say deserve it, but you don't, autonomy is not for you. But everyone wants and desires a form of independence. And one thing that I got from my therapist is that some people who don't believe in autonomy in a relationship, their happiness is based on another person. And that should never be the case. My happiness should never be contingent on what you do for me, how you make me feel, or any of that. And you shouldn't feel like I got to be with you 24/7 in order for you to be happy. And a lot of people miss that. Like they're like, oh, I got it. This is my person. This is my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife. We got to be together every 24/7. If she at work and I'm at work, soon as we get home, we got to be together. We got to do this together. We got to shower together. We got to shit together. We got to sleep together. I can't go to sleep until you go to sleep. Like that gets exhausting after a while. And it's not always realistic. And that's where people become possessive, because no one belongs to nobody. Even if you take the vow, you don't belong to nobody, damn body. I don't belong to nobody. Like we together and all, but I belong to me. I have a right to myself. You have a right to yourself. We just coming together and making these deals and business, and we loving each other and we making families together. But at the end of the day, we still are individuals that have come together, under marriage or whatever, but we're all individuals.
Yeah, and I'll add also that marriage and relationships are a continuum, because what I wanted at 20 is different than
You
what I
don't want
wanted.
that no more.
No, hell no.
Mm-mm.
I used to want to hold hands and snuggle, man. Shit.
Get
My
up
wife
off
doesn't
me.
do it.
It's hot.
Feel like I'm hot. Get the hell away from me. I'm like, good, because I don't even want to be there. So it's all different now. You know what I mean? So you got to take that into account as well. You're changing as a person. And so that the little, if you come up with your little form, you say, I got this figured out. Got this formula figured out, bro. I got this all figured out. I got my relationship all set. Uh-oh. 3 years pass by. Oh, damn, I got to change it now. I got to tweak it, man. People don't want the same stuff. And it's a continuum. And that's part of this whole thing, man. That's what you got to do. Keep changing, because I can tell you right now, I used to want to, I was okay at one point. I won't say I wanted it, but I was okay at one point doing a little dress up with the same clothes stuff. Y'all remember those people, right? They get the same kind of clothes, same kind of outfit, right? Oh, it's cute, right? Man, you better go somewhere with that. Y'all know I ain't doing that. Get out of here, man.
What's up, Kamachende? So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, that's one of the things that, when we're talking, most people don't ever talk about in the beginning, because they're in that limerence stage where everybody's in love and you just think things are going to be a certain way. And, in the beginning, it may be like that. We all want to be up on each other all the time, but, that ain't going to last long. And, when we take this up again, we're going to talk about the limerence phase. And that's the phase where people get stuck in sometimes, and when it wear off and you realize it was just lust, that's where a lot of people get lost at, because lust overtakes everything in common sense. And, lust is possessive. Lust is possessive as hell. But so is love for a lot of people, because they don't know the difference. And, that's when it becomes a big problem, because they think everything you do should revolve around them. I mean, I've heard it from both men and women. Well, you did this, you didn't even ask me. Well, you're right, I didn't, because it's boys' night out. Well, I want to go. Well, it's boys' night out, not people's. And, it ain't. When they had a mommy daughter dance, I don't get to go. I want to go dance with my daughter. I don't get to go. So but that's one of the things that you got to talk about, because sometimes people do believe when you're not at work, y'all should spend every minute together. So shit, I got to get a second job just to get away from you. That is insanity to me. Shit, it's 8 o'clock. we talked way too long about Crystal and the time. So we're gonna do a part 2 on some stuff that we didn't get a chance to, and we're gonna get some more stuff in. So y'all know how it is. We're gonna do a quick little happy birthday to our favorite, one of our favorite co-hosts. So fellas, y'all ready? We're gonna sing happy birthday to her.
Hold on, we're gonna do the white folk version or the black folk version.
We're gonna do we got 25-second version. All right.
I want the 2 Chainz version.
I ain't got.
Oh, you don't know that version? All I want for my birthday is a big booty girl. All I want for my birthday is a big.
Hey, when you get back, then we're gonna find some big booty girls and get you a big booty girl. I got you. It just can't be on Wednesday.
That's all I want.
Well, I got you. All right, so
I got you when you come back. That's it. We up through there.
Okay, so I'm having a New Year's party Friday.
New Year's.
Yes, I celebrate the New Year at Spring. Yes. But it's gonna be at the Claremont Lounge about 6-7 o'clock until whatever. So everybody's invited.
I'll be there.
All the people out there in the comments, y'all invited if you in Atlanta this Friday.
And tell them now, not in the bottom part.
It's not gonna be in the basement part. We're gonna go to the basement about 1, 2 in the morning. It's gonna be on the hotel side.
I'm up through there.
Come on up through there.
Is it gonna be some big booty?
It's grown and sexy now. Okay, so come cute or don't come at all.
I gotta get sexy. Lord, I'm ready.
Yeah, oh Lord, what?
Anyway, happy birthday, y'all know,
Thank y'all.
Happy birthday, Sean.
What's your parting shot? What's your parting shot, Sharon? Birthday girl.
That was my party. I'm inviting y'all to my New Year's party.
All right. Mark, what you got for us?
Hey, stop following these goddamn crooked ass pastors. Leave toxic relationships in the past and do whatever it takes to make you happy.
Mo, what you got?
Oh man, don't try to snuggle after about 40. Stop trying to snuggle, man. She don't want to get off me. Get off me, man.
Y'all know we gonna next week we're gonna finish some of these other topics and we're gonna have a couple of more for y'all and we're gonna do what we do. Y'all know what it is. Until next week, peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out. Let's see. How do I end this?
I never figure out how I end it. I just